I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
What is up? My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. This, of course, is the epicenter for all of your current and captivating coastal elite chaos. So please hit that subscribe button, like the video, ring the notification bell, leave a comment or two, share this with a friend. Let's go. This is an interview with ABC and Charlamagne the Fraud, right? We all know Charlamagne because he let Kamala go up there and lie about listening to Tupac.
What were you listening to when you was high? What was on? What song was it?
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, definitely Snoop. Tupac for sure.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Now that's a lie. In case you're not aware, Kamala Harris graduated Harvard University in 1986, and Tupac's debut CD didn't come out until 1991. In regards to Snoop Dogg, his first album came out in 1993.
And he let Jiden tell him that he ain't black, and then he kind of pushed back on it a little bit. And look, I guess he's authentic. He's not totally in the bag like D.L. Hughley or Ebro. He's going out on his own a little bit, and maybe he's just genuinely a little bit stupid. I truly don't know, right? He doesn't seem to be fully in the bag, but he's also not fully with it. So somewhere in between lies Charlamagne the God, and now he's talking to ABC News this week. They say, did I say I meant Charlamagne the Fraud. Jeez. I guess on one hand, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day, and he may have his own opinions, but he may be getting direction from the top down. I don't really know what's happening, but here he is. They say, Charlamagne the Fraud tells ABC News President Biden, quote, has no main character energy at all. So he's also talking like he's a 16-year-old, but I actually haven't seen this yet, so do it live.
He's known as Charlamagne the God, and I sat down with him for this exclusive interview. He's one of the most influential voices in morning radio.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, just hilarious. I don't know where the hell envy is at.
Also a television personality, podcast host, and New York Times best-selling author. His interviews...
Yeah, well, we know the New York Times thing is all completely fake. That's an editorial at its very best. It's been like that for many, many years.
With pop stars and politicians making viral moments like this.
So what's something that you always carry with you? Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
How could I forget that? How could I forget the hot sauce in my bag swag with Hillary Clinton?
So I made sure you guys got your chicken, your orange soda, or Kool-Aid, if that's what you're into. Oh, I'm really sorry that Jill forgot the watermelon and hot sauce. Listen, I absolutely love the blacks, especially when you people vote for me and not Trump.
That was one of the early ones. There was also Birdman, all three of y'all.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
But this is from the 2016 campaign season, right? So she's pandering to the blacks to get the vote. And she lost to Donald Trump, obviously, with everything they were throwing at him.
Are you getting information right now?
Leonard McKelvey, known to America as Charlamagne the God, has built his following on charisma, comedy, and blunt questions.
What was you thinking earlier this year when you got caught cheating in Vegas?
Hey, brother,
Mr.
listen.
Irresponsible.
In the last presidential election, the Breakfast Club became a must-stop for Democratic candidates. With an average of more than 6 million monthly listeners, candidates sought to appeal to its younger, diverse audience. And in 2019...
And look, obviously, I'm no expert, but I don't think the Breakfast Club is quite as influential as they make it out to be. Same thing with Taylor Swift. These are hugely popular people, but when it comes down to it, do you think the Zoomers of the world, even millennials at this point, is getting in the car and listening to Charlamagne? Maybe they're watching YouTube videos. I'm sure they're getting loads of views on YouTube or Spotify or something maybe. But this, I don't think, is quite as popular as they want you to think it is. Just like most people are not quite as stupid as they want you to think we are.
Charlamagne appeared at a campaign rally with then presidential candidate Kamala Harris. But it was his 2020 interview with Joe Biden that made the biggest splash and drew criticism of Biden for his comments on black voters.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black.
Listen, I absolutely love the blacks, especially when you people vote for me and not Trump.
I met with Charlamagne at his radio studio to discuss the state of American politics. I saw you describe this campaign that we're headed into as a race between the cowards, the crooks, and the couch.
Yeah, crooks are the Republicans. The cowards are the Democrats because they don't fight hard enough on anything. And, you know, the cowards...
I might put that exactly opposite, right? Like, the cowards are the Republicans who cannot stand up to anything. They constantly keep inching left until there's nothing left. And the crooks are the Democrats who are quite literally siphoning. Ukraine has turned into a slush fund for the Uniparty, really. And they're both completely terrible, which is why you have publications like The Atlantic saying, oh, the Republicans don't exist anymore. It's Trump. Yeah, it is. Because he has kicked down the sandcastles. He has opened the curtain so we can all see the corruption behind it. But Charlamagne, he's completely wrong here, right? That's the point, is that the Democrats are crooks and the Republicans are cowards. He's completely backwards on that. But his brain is rotted out.
Couch is voter apathy. And, you know, that's who everybody is up against in 2024. And right now, it feels like the couch is going to win. I don't know who that benefits, you know, by the couch winning. But it feels like the couch is going to win.
What's your sense? How engaged?
What? So he's, I guess, by saying the couch, he's talking about Bo Jiden. What planet is this man on? Did we not just see the enthusiastic welcome that Trump got at SneakerCon? A contingent that is typically not political at all, that Joe Biden could never pull that off. He could never sell a $400 pair of sneakers that would hit the aftermarket at $6,000. He could not give away a pair of sneakers. He could not pay you to wear a pair of sneakers. And this man wants you to believe that person is on track to winning because of what? 92 indictments. It's like, look at how much lawfare we've thrown at him. How can you continue? It's like, bro, it's you, right? It's you. Like, these are the people. And I've used this analogy 100 times, but these are the people that will steal from your house and then help you look for what they stole, right? Like, look at how many charges he's facing. Why would you vote for him? It's like, the charges came from you. These people are morons.
How much is your audience paying attention to this race?
My audience, I feel like my audience is America. And when I'm out and about, just, you know, walking in the street, or people are calling into the radio station, like nobody is inspired, you know, by the upcoming election. Like,
you still backing Trump? Yeah, of course. It's Trump all day. What you talking about? Yeah. You know what it is.
You know,
again, that's just not true. People are waking up left and right. Now, Charlamagne lives up in his ivory tower, millionaire radio host, but I promise you, I've been all over the place. From California, Wisconsin, Florida, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, okay, not everywhere. Quite obviously not everywhere. But there is some enthusiasm to get rid of the completely corrupt regime. And he's talking about nobody likes it. That's just not true. That's him softly endorsing Bo Jiden.
Like, nobody wants to see the rematch between, you know, Biden and Trump. And that's what makes me feel like the couch is going to win.
You still backing Trump? Yeah, of course. It's Trump all day. What you talking about? Yeah. You know what it is.
This is the first time in my life when people say things like, you know, this person is a threat to democracy.
Mm-hmm. That's you, guy. Okay, so look, I stand corrected. I to be honest with you, I thought Charlamagne kind of had some thoughts of his own because he has pushed back on the narrative from time to time a tiny bit, but we know that a broken clock is right twice a day. And now he's saying, well, people are saying he's a threat to democracy without, and look, I haven't seen this before. We're going to keep going. But is he going to explain what that means, or is he just going to regurgitate the talking points of the people trying to get rid of him?
It's absolutely true.
Is 3 years.
And it's mind-boggling to me that, you know, nobody is taking it as serious as I feel like they should. Like, we watched an attempted coup of this country happen on January 6th.
All right. It's all starting to make sense now. He is on ABC News, which I have made a video about. And they're just, I mean, it's so bad. NBC News is really bad too, right? NBC News called for the, imprisonment of libs of TikTok, right? And they are really bad. They are really activist, terrible people. But ABC News, the weirdo Epstein, Stephanopoulos connection, all of their local, okay, not all, but 90% of their local reporters are completely compromised weirdo LGBTQ hacks. So it makes sense. They put him on here to spin this story. Like, nobody is excited about this and threat to democracy and January 6th. It makes sense now. And the name Charlamagne the Fraud is incredibly fitting, right? And again, so we have the Hillary incident, but I think also perhaps more embarrassing, because after Kamala Harris could see the Hillary, the Hillary pandering, the panderverse. She could see that and still did it, and then was called out for the lie about listening to Tupac in 1982 or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. So she could have navigated that properly, but that's how stupid they think you are, is that you're not going to look under. Yeah, of course Kamala Harris was listening to Snoop Dogg in 1986, even though his first album didn't come out till 1994 or whatever it is. Now, I'm probably misquoting those dates.
Tupac's CD and Snoop Dogg's first CD did not come out until 1991 and 1993. So it was physically impossible for Kamala Harris to be listening to both of those CDs in college and to be smoking weed during that time like she alleged.
But the point here is that they watched the corruption, they watched the pandering, and did it anyways because they think you're that stupid. They think they still have control of three-letter networks, and that's it, as if everybody doesn't have a computer in their pocket.
And everybody's acting like it was just a bunch of people, wilding at spring break, down in Florida. Yeah. Like, we literally watched, people try to overthrow the government.
This guy is just despicable, bro. They don't ever want to talk about the numerous cities across the country that were burned down for a dope fiend.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly, but fires have been started,
but they want to talk about the insurrection on January 6th. It's like, you didn't even care about the government at all. You didn't care about the Constitution. You didn't care about the rule of law until it came for the regime that I guess butters your bread.
Because they didn't like the results of an election led by a former, president. If that doesn't cause a sense of urgency in people, I don't know what will.
That it has been entirely peaceful, sometimes angry, but entirely peaceful. A few people doing some graffiti. When others saw them doing the graffiti, they would shut them down, make them stop doing it. Bottle thrown, which is not uncommon. So there is some of that, but for the most part, they have been very, very peaceful. They haven't been destroying anything. They like to take it out of the media, as everybody does, but rather than yell at us and throw stuff at us, not in a mean way. Yeah. And we'll be fine.
Biden does make that an issue over and over again. He constantly talks about that. Why is it not resonating?
Well, he's just an uninspiring candidate. Like, there's nothing about, Joe Biden that makes you want to listen to him.
I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking.
Oh, the mind is already clear. I'm afeared. This is. You said it earlier. It's elder abuse.
I haven't seen that one.
That's why he should be leaning on, his vice president, Kamala Harris, who's way more charismatic than him.
Charlamagne now wants us to believe that people like Kamala Harris more than. Oh my word!
He should be leaning on other surrogates like Gavin Newsom or Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Like
Gavin Newsom The man quite literally responsible for ruining San Francisco and then the entire state of California. He, the president, should be leaning on Kamala and Gavin Newsom. There's just no way. There's just no way. If this man, if he had any sense of, if there was any morality within him, he knows that's not true. He knows that's not true. This is a young guy. He is smart. He knows. And I can only imagine that he is better off in the bag of the political establishment than speaking the truth and making money on his own. He would be just as big. He would be Black Joe Rogan if he told the truth, but he's not. He's a puppet.
He should be leaning on people who are more inspiring than him, who are more charismatic than him, and he should just be, I guess, if you want to call it, the brains of the operation behind the scenes. Like, that sounds crazy that we're saying that about a president of the United States of America, but he has no main character energy at all. None.
And what is that?
And there he is. He's talking like a 16-year-old because he's been on TikTok too. He has no main character.
Is that age? Is it the way he is? I mean, why do you? What's the problem?
I don't think it has anything to do with age. You know, I think it has just everything to do with him. Like, Donald Trump is what, 3 years younger than President Biden, but he just comes off a lot more youthful. He comes off, you know, like he has a lot more energy. And I always say this about them. Donald Trump seems more sincere about his lies than Joe Biden does about his truth.
That's just completely incorrect. That's because Donald Trump is telling the truth for the most part, right? I'm sure the man could be wrong. I'm sure he's told a little white lie here and there. I guess we all do that. But he is more passionate and he can speak from the hip because he is telling the truth versus Bo Jiden, who can barely put a sentence together and looks down at note cards every single second of every single speech and still can't get it right with the note cards and the teleprompter. That's why.
Charlamagne endorsed Joe Biden in 2020, but says it was primarily because he had chosen Kamala Harris as his running mate. Has she met your expectations? I mean, you've been kind of tough on her.
Yeah, no, she hasn't. You know, but I don't think it's too late for her to pivot. You know, I think that right now, you know, historically, vice presidents have always kind of played their role. Their role is to just basically parrot the president, you know, speak, you know, on behalf of the president. But I think, man, we're in a new era, right? Like for new jack problems, we need new jack solutions. Mm-hmm. And she serves a unique.
But those are the problems you caused. So you can call them new jack problems, but they are problems caused by the political regime, by the media, by the establishment. But I repeat myself. So yes, here they are, as per usual, creating the problems and then selling the solution.
Purpose, right? Because she is the first woman of color in that position. So there's things that she could talk about. There's things that she could say that I feel like, you know, he can't.
For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
And I mean, man, we all remember her in those Senate hearings when she was pressing those people, when she was like really on, you know, she was prosecuting these people.
No, we don't. We don't remember that. What are you talking about? Roll the clip. Play that.
And I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
When I want to see her prosecute the case against Donald Trump in this country, I feel like she could go out there and really let the American people, you know what's going on. I'd like.
And they talk about prosecuting Donald Trump. It's like, yeah, but there's no victims. It's just you guys. It's the establishment. It's the regime who are just saying, oh, he committed fraud. He owes us $600 million, billion, $1 trillion. It's just you and that weird old crazy cat lady, E. Jean Carroll.
It's not. I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
What are you talking about?
To see her going on outlets like Fox News. I'd like to see her going in there and mixing it up.
Well, do you get blowback from the...
Yeah, why would Kamala not go on Fox News? I wonder. Why would she not go? It's because they're all big, scary, racist, right-wing Republican supremacists. Or is it because there may be some uncomfortable facts that she's going to have to admit or weasel her way out of, or just quite blatantly lie? I wonder why she wouldn't do that. You'd want to reach as many people as possible. And then you go to California and you realize that even the Californians, or should I say, especially the Californians, don't like her.
The White House, because you, even now in this conversation, you're very tough on Biden. So when you say something...
Bro, he has not been tough on Biden. What are you talking about? He said, oh, Biden should be the brains behind the operation, but he has no character. That's not tough at all. That man is completely corrupt. He is a criminal. His entire family is criminal. Kamala Harris is a puppet criminal. They are all completely despicable. He has not been hard on any of them.
Something critical. Do you hear from him?
Yeah, and I think that's the stupidest ever, because I think that, I'm sorry, I forgot. But
we can bleep that out.
Yeah, because I feel like you should be able to criticize whoever your elected official is, right? Yeah. And even if I do criticize them, I'm criticizing them because of what I see coming up in November. I see what we're facing. So what I'm saying to them is, where is the sense of urgency? You can't keep saying that there's a...
Bro. Where is the sense of urgency? They are throwing lawsuits at this man left and right. And look, I don't want to get too conspiratorial about it, but it's pretty clear that those prosecutors in several different cases have spoken with the Biden White House. So if you want to get real about this, it is quite clear that Bo Jiden and his establishment is, deploying crooked prosecutors towards Donald Trump, and then Charlamagne the fraud wants to say, where's the urgency? Bro, it's been urgent since the day that man came down the steps, all the way back in 2015. They were trying to impeach him on the first day. On Inauguration Day, they're trying to impeach him, and he's like, where's the urgency? What are you talking about? It has been more urgent than anything. They've ruined the entire country to get this man.
A threat to democracy, and democracy as we know it is going to be gone, but not act like it. And the other problem is they've always done this with...
That's because it's not. And there is no threat to democracy. When they say threat to democracy, quite obviously they mean threat to Democrats. That's what they mean.
Every single Republican candidate. Since I've been alive, whoever the Republican presidential candidate has been, they've demonized. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's John McCain. It doesn't matter if it was, Mitt Romney. It doesn't matter who it is. They will demonize the Republican candidate. And now that there's an actual legitimate threat right there in our faces, they're like the party who cried wolf.
That's because he is not really a Republican. So he wants to say, oh, they demonize every single Republican candidate, which is true. But now you have an actual Republican, or maybe somebody who is not part of the establishment regime. So he claims, that's what he is claiming is the real threat, is the part that Trump is not part of the weirdo, let's send our money to Ukraine and launder it and all this weirdo scheme, scam, worldwide geopolitical stuff. That person, Trump, is not part of that scam operation. So that's where the threat comes into him. But, he is correct in saying that they demonize every single Republican, and maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe they cried wolf far too many times, because now when somebody will not bend the knee to the weirdo uniparty establishment right-wing party, then they want to complain, but you did it already too many times, so nobody trusts you.
Nobody believes him.
Do you think Trump's going to win?
I don't know, but that's what's scary about it, right? Because when you look at everything he's done, right? The attempted coup of this country, put the Supreme Court judges on who got rid of Roe v. Wade, takes credit, says, I am the one who got rid of Roe v. Wade. Me, I did that. When you see all of that, it really shouldn't be close, right? But when you have a candidate like President Biden, who the polls are, saying has the lowest approval rating ever, and, he'd lose to a general election in a Trump, that's scary. That's where these conversations are coming from.
Bro, he's scared. Oh, give me a break, bro. Oh, Donald Trump is so scary. He ended Roe v. Wade, and he said in January 6th, it's so get them. What a coward.
They're like, yo, you might need to step aside and put somebody else in there. Because, my fear is that the election's going to be close, right?
You've got a very powerful voice. You've got,
it should not be close, right? I mean, who are we kidding, right? It should not be close. We all lived through 4 years of Trump. We all lived through 4 years of Biden. Anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together can see which one was better. Now, you can admit that you are a partisan hack and the media has rotted your brain completely out and you're going to vote blue no matter who. That is fine. But nobody, I challenge one single person in the entirety, all of these big name Twitter personalities, to back up one thing the Biden administration has done, right? So now they're going to today, they're going to claim that they were really good on the border and the Republicans just wouldn't sign the bill, even though if you actually look at the bill, it's clearly just a Ukrainian funding bill for their weirdo slush fund. But my point is, there is only blind allegiance and aggressive opposition. Nobody can support this. Even Kamala Harris can't support it. All they do is come out now and say, Orange man bad, he won't let you kill your baby. That's their rallying cry now.
Incredibly influential show. You've got an audience that Democrats especially crave, and obviously Nikki Haley coming on, Republicans as well. Are you going to be using that voice to try to affect this election?
Are you going to use your radio show to tell people to vote Democrat? That's what he's asking.
I'm going to tell people exactly what I'm seeing. I'm not going to endorse anybody, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is, democracy really on the brink, right? Like this is I would tell my listeners.
Just for the final time, there is no threat to democracy. There is only a threat to Democrats.
That's exactly what I'm about to say right now. For years, they've told us that, these people are threats to democracy. This person is absolutely a threat to democracy.
That sounds like an endorsement. I mean, it sounds like you're saying endorse not Donald Trump, which, as you've said, it's going to be Biden.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's an endorsement. I'm just simply telling people what is going on out there.
Well, Charlamagne, he knows. He knows what he has to do, right? I mean, Bo Jiden told him directly to his face, if you do not vote for me, then you're not black. And he's falling right in line. He has no problem with that. And this interviewer didn't ask him about that at all, right? They mentioned it, this was a huge viral moment. But you didn't say, how come you didn't push back on that? Or do you think that's true? You didn't ask one single question about the president or a candidate, the presidential candidate at the time, saying vote for him or you ain't black. You didn't want to talk about that. You just want to talk about the threat to democracy, a.k.a. the threat to Democrats.
I'm going to speak the truth about Democrats, too. Because I feel like if you lie to people about Democrats, they won't believe you when you tell them the truth.
You're not going to speak the truth. Give me a break. You're not. You said Kamala Harris is a great choice and Gavin Newsom is a great choice. That's just not true, right? And that's why I say there is only blind allegiance and aggressive opposition, because nobody is going to tell you that, well, Gavin Newsom did a great thing, even though he said he was going to end homelessness in 10 years, but 15 years later, it's only exponentially worse, right? And you guys want to claim, oh, defund the police, we hate the cops, but Kamala Harris was the top cop in California. You don't want to talk about any of that. So you're not going to tell the truth. What?
I'm triggered. About Republicans. So if I lie to people about what I see with Joe Biden, they're not going to believe me when I tell them the truth about what I see with Donald Trump. So all you got to do at this point, and I hate to say this, but why do we keep having to say this? Pick your poison. One poison might send you to the hospital for a couple of days.
Yeah.
The other one's going to absolutely kill you.
That's completely fake. That is not true at all. He's on ABC News telling people that, in a roundabout way, that a vote for Donald Trump will be deadly. What are you talking about, bro?
But Takeoff be rapping. He even confused Nicki Minaj because Nicki said she didn't realize you was rapping about her on Motorsport.
Cap.
Now, with the album out, are you paying attention to what people are saying?
I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio guy.
I hate my nigga. Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking. Let's rock.
All right.
All right, Buck. See you later, nigga.